I'm Teresa DeLuca. I'm the Furnace Brook Middle School librarian, and we're here today for our show Read, Rant, Repeat. Our focus is Maze Runner. It's written by James Dashner, and we have for today's show our special guests, Caroline Cavallo.
Hello.
Aiden Hickey.
Hello.
And Brianna DeLuca. So folks, we have as a first question that was submitted by Instagram. One sec. How awesome, the comment was how awesome Chuck was as a character and how unfortunate was his demise towards the end of the book Maze Runner. And I want to ask how you felt about that relationship between Chuck and Thomas. Also, if you were in the Glades and in the maze, who would you want to be your ally? Somebody who'd be a supporting character like Chuck was for Thomas. So Caroline, do you mind answering that first?
Sure. Well, I thought that Chuck's relationship with Thomas, in general, I really liked Chuck as a character. He was one of my favorites, and I'm going to be honest, I've seen the movie 3 times. It hit me when he died. Even in the book, he's such a loving character, and it was kind of the relationship between them. You could see the despair in Thomas's eyes when he died. It really was. Yeah. And if I could, one person?
Yeah,
just one person?
It could be anyone in the world or someone from the show, fictional.
Fictional, non-fictional.
Yeah.
I would go with Harry Potter because, Harry Potter I love Harry Potter, but he could just teleport us out of the maze.
He could.
Take us to
talk
Hogwarts.
About a wonderful friend and ally.
Yeah.
You saw it. Yep. Very nice. Aiden, did you want to add anything to that?
I think Chuck and Thomas valued each other because Chuck, throughout the movie, he would show his a bit of an upset feeling that he would never know who his parents are.
Yes.
So I think he kind of adopted Thomas as a sort of parent figure for him.
I agree.
And then Thomas probably wanted to establish a relationship with Chuck because he felt like Chuck was the greenie just before me. He probably knows something that I could use to get through life on the Glade.
Right. Bree, was there anything that you'd want to add? Someone that you would want to be in the Glade with you if you needed an ally?
I know I would personally want someone older just to get their opinion on what is right and what is wrong to do in a situation like that. Someone that I know they have my back. So I would say maybe my older brother, Brandon. I know he's strong and he's smart,
Good choice.
he said. And I think that considering he's older, he might have some good experiences that he could also bring to the table.
Excellent. All right, you guys. Now, in the movie, Thomas and Teresa didn't share their thoughts telepathically. Were there any other differences that you either liked or disliked between the movie and how they did in the book?
I'm not really quite sure that this is a difference, but when I imagine the Grievers, I didn't imagine them the way they were in the movie. I thought they were really well done, but I don't know if that's a difference. But I feel like they were described.
It didn't match your imagination.
Didn't match my imagination.
Okay.
I don't think it also completely matched what it said in the book. That's just my opinion.
Totally valid.
But I mean, in all books in general, you can't do everything because you just can't. You've got so much time, but you have to do differences sometimes.
And was there anything that bothered you or you really liked how they did it?
Well, I thought it was strange how in the movie the maze was just part of the world. It was just walled off.
Yeah.
I thought, how could that make sense? Because what if there was a noise or something outside? They would hear that inside, and they would think, there's something out there. Now we really need to try and find a way out.
Right. I think we were trying to remember if it was in the book that there was a dome.
I thought it was some sort of, an underground dome.
Because I couldn't remember that either. And you're right. If there was airplanes or something overhead, then that would be picked up. So, okay, I'd like to move on to the next question. So we know that Maze Runner has been a great hit as a book for the sales, and then the movie's been fantastic here and over in Europe. Now that the DVD has just been released, I thought everyone should know that in the Blu-ray version, they include an extra. It's a graphic novel, actually a novella, that is in the Blu-ray, and also on downloads if you get something through Vudu or whatever. And that extra is it shows a scene where Albie is talking to one of his best friends, and this is before Thomas was in the Glades, and he was stung by a griever, and he's undergoing the change. And in the graphic novel, Albie is really reaching out to this friend saying, George, are you still in there? Is there anything left of your personality? Are you you? And after he figures out that he's not, that he has just become something else, then Albie needs to kill his friend. And my question for you guys is, if you were in charge like Albie was in the Glades, would you be able to make those tough decisions in order to maintain order and have a resemblance of society? Would you be able to kill? Would you be able to banish your friends? What could you imagine that you could do? Do you want to start?
That's just in general having to like kill your friend. I mean, if it's absolutely necessary and you're living in a world like that, I think it's something that, friendship or not, you'd have to do it. It's for the safety of yourself and the safety for everyone else in the Glade, for example. I mean, I could imagine it can traumatize a person having to just do that.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't know if I could do it. It would be hard.
I know at the end of the book, Thomas is having, it might be even in the sequel, Scorch Trials, but they're trying to fall asleep, and the dreams, they can't. Yeah, they're really scarred. Do you mind if I skip you for a second, Aiden?
Yes.
Bree, what do you think you'd be capable of doing if you were in charge and trying to keep order?
Well, I would like to say I wouldn't ever kill a close friend, but it all really depends on the circumstance. If you are the one in charge and you had the responsibility of taking care of all these other people along with yourself, your life and everything, I don't know, you got to make sacrifices.
I know.
And I'm sure that your friend would understand that, knowing that you're in a tough position.
Probably. Yep. This is The Walking Dead. Deaths happen. We move on. Okay, Aiden, did you want to add anything to that comment?
Well, to think about having to have to kill somebody to try and maintain order,
yeah.
that might give you a bit of a bad reputation. I thought in a movie they did a good job of having Albie's decision of banishing people into the maze, as opposed to just killing them right then and there.
Right.
So that he can still, be respected by everyone else, not have people thinking like he's just a bad guy or something.
That's a good point.
Killing people off, yeah.
That's good. Yeah, maintain the respect, but do the job that needs to be done, even if it's difficult. Okay, now James Dashner had said that he was especially influenced by Stephen King's book, The Stand. And The Stand was made into a movie. In The Stand, it's a survival book after a horrible virus wipes people out. But there's another book that's by Stephen King, and it actually has a maze in it, and it's The Shining. So I thought, because of that comment that I had researched and noticed, that it would be appropriate to mention some other books that have mazes in them. For instance, when some of you were in 6th grade, it was required reading to know William Slater's book. There was either Rewind or Into the Dream that some of the 6th grade teachers were using. And he wrote another book, and it's called House of Stairs. So there's a group of teenagers that are put into literally a testing, subject type thing, house that had stairs everywhere. And it was psychological thriller. They were made to do things. So I thought, wow, that's really similar. There's also Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire.
Harry Potter's a big one.
Yeah. And then another one I thought of was Flowers of Algernon, and that one is where they're trying to make a mouse and a man with a low IQ become smarter, and then they test it by the maze. So were there any of those books that you read yourself, or were there any other books that you felt that Maze Runner was similar to? And this is open to anyone.
Something I've sort of like recognized as similar to all these books is Lord of the Flies. That's probably influenced most of these survival stories about something like that, yeah.
Had you read that recently, or was it?
No, this was a while ago.
Okay, oh, good for you. It is, it's often